Hey guys, welcome back to Mauler TV. Mauler JM here with you, and we're back playing Ark. As you can see, another Get a Clue episode. I know it's Monday and not Sunday. This is the bonus content for the week, but we are making a change. I posted it on the website. Go ahead and check that out. We have a new project we're working on that I'm really excited about. I need some extra time to do the editing, so we're going to turn Sundays into optional. I know it's kind of a bummer, but I need the extra time in order to get you some really good content for what we have coming up. Today we are building a greenhouse. We're going to talk about the greenhouse. We're going to talk about the fertilizer. And I'm going to show you some techniques I like to use, like this one coming up, using a pillar to protect your water pipes and get yourself a little bit more security in this crazy Ark world. You have dinos and you have humans that like to destroy things, so hopefully this will help a little bit. Take this foundation after you lay out your base for your greenhouse and drop that one down. We're going to turn this whole area into our water supply. So it's going to be pretty cool and nice and clean. You guys know from my previous videos that I'm a little OCD. I like things clean. I mean, I've seen these greenhouses where water is just above the crop plots. I think it looks kind of goofy. But hey, it's up to you guys on how you build your base. If it's functional, it doesn't matter, right? But I like it nice. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's what's going to be shown in the video. So drop yourself down. You see you have a little section that's dropped down one spot, and that's where we're going to put the pipes. Now, in order to get your pipes straight, I use the edge of the foundations to straighten everything up and then bring it back towards me. So I want to start right in the middle of the foundations. You'll see it'll kind of light up when it hits the edges of the foundations. Throw it right there and then start placing it all around your greenhouse area. It's going to take a few minutes. Make sure you're using the intersections. Those give you the best snap points. So make sure you get a bunch of those intersections. Get yourself ready, because the next thing we're going to do is start putting in the taps. It's going to look kind of weird, but it's really effective and actually works really well. Now, after you place all of these things, I like to test them. So you see me going to the edges of the foundations, and what I'm looking for is make sure these things are even on the edges. If they're even, that means the longer I go, the straighter these pipes are going to be. So that makes it a lot more convenient, especially if you have a huge greenhouse you're building. Make sure you're testing those things. Make sure you're looking and making sure your lines are good. Otherwise, you're going to be really in a bad spot when you get to the end. So place your taps down. I like to put them, just on the outside. You don't need to put them everywhere. There's a ton of snap points when you're using the intersections. You can put them right in the middle if you want, kind of like they're showing up there. But I just like using the edges because it waters or irrigates everything, no matter where it is inside of this little footprint of a greenhouse you have. And then you're going to want your reservoirs. I use 6 of them. Now, you guys want to upgrade when you get a chance. If you're in the regular version, upgrade to metal. If you're in the Primitive Plus version, make sure you upgrade to the steel tanks. Those things are awesome. They hold 7,000 water per tank. Absolutely nice to have. And then enclose this room in a 2x all the way around. But make sure you leave a little spot for your door. You're going to want to go in just in case you have to service your water supply. You're going to want to be able to access those later on. So go ahead and build yourself a little room, and then we'll get it closed off. I'll show you a little mistake I made as well. Yikes. So here's the mistake I made. I put these foundations on the lowered part of the foundation. Now, it doesn't really make a big difference. I'll show you kind of what it does later when we actually place the roofs. But it's a little bit cleaner if you go on the top one. But, for this situation, it's really not that big of a deal. Place your door, like I mentioned, your door frame. Fill in the rest of your 2x little room here. Put your door in, and at the very least, you're kind of protected from anything that doesn't fly. So that's pretty nice. Now, the next thing you want to do is grab your crop plots. I use medium crop plots for about everything. You can use small ones for regular berries, but a lot of the stuff that we're going to be trying to grow actually calls for medium or large crop plots. There's really no additional material you get from large crop plots, so don't waste the material or the time. Build medium ones all day long and just use that to fill in your whole greenhouse. Makes it a lot easier to grind out those materials as well. Now you may notice that I did extend the greenhouse a little bit. I wanted to make it even so we had enough crop plots. Now your next step is super easy. Grab your greenhouse walls. Go ahead and start placing those. I do one by on the outsides, and then I do a sloped roof. So I like it. It looks pretty neat. Make sure you leave a spot for your door. I had a little issue with the door. You'll see that later. Unfortunately, the greenhouse door frame wasn't available to me when I was trying to get materials into this for this video, so I had to use a stone one. Looks kind of goofy, but it doesn't really affect anything, so that's pretty nice. So once you get your little base around, grab your angles. Now you can flip them back and forth. We mentioned that before using the Y button. So go ahead and flip those things back and forth so you get yourself a nice slope there. Throw in your other walls, and now you have almost everything except for the roof of a greenhouse. This is going to be really key. You see I put in the stone door, the concrete door there, stone door, sorry. Unfortunately, yeah, so I needed that in order to finish the roof. So get your roofs finished, and then I'll show you a little mistake I made. So now, if you place the slopes before you place all the angle pieces won't fit. So unfortunately, I had to destroy these two pieces and actually place the angles first. So don't make that mistake if you guys are building a greenhouse. Make sure you're putting the angles in first, and then put your roofs over the top of them, and that'll save you some additional materials. So put the angles in correctly this time, throw the roofs over, and you're done. You finally have a greenhouse. You'll notice that when you get crop plots down, you'll get a 300% bonus to these things from the greenhouse effect. So it's really nice to have. Make sure you throw down some storage boxes. You want to have some places to store your fertilizer. We'll actually discuss how to get that fertilizer here next. Let's talk about how to actually plant these crop plots. Go ahead and access the crop plot. You'll see it says access inventory there. Hit Y, and you can go ahead and put one seed in there. You don't have to worry if it's a stack of 50. Only one will go into the crop plot, so that's pretty nice. And then throw your fertilizer in. Usually as you're putting the fertilizer in, that seed will disappear. It means that the crop plot has been seeded, and then fill it up with fertilizer, and you're good to go. So, it just depends on how many crop plots that you want to fill. I use 2 for each type of seed, so I use it's a pretty big greenhouse when I'm done with what I want. But I know that there's a few things that I'm not really interested in growing. So I'll stick to things like narcotics, stimberries, and then all the cool stuff like tea or coffee or tobacco in order to, not coffee, I'm sorry, but tobacco and tea leaves in order to tame herbivores. So it just depends on what you guys want. Everybody's different. Now, if you want to figure out how to make fertilizer, start with compost bins. They're pretty easy to work with. They use thatch. They use it in stacks of 50. So for every 50 and 3 pieces of poop, you're going to get 1 fertilizer after about 50 minutes. I put 100 in there and 6 pieces. That way, after about 2 hours, I'll have 2 fertilizers ready to go for every compost bin. So if you need a ton of fertilizer, you might need a lot of compost bins. One great way to get the poop to fill up your fertilizer, or to fill up your compost bins, Polomia. Throw some stimberries on this thing, hold the R trigger, and force feed it, and it'll actually just start pooping all over the place. It's a dirty job, I know, but hey, it's not too bad, and it's going to get you some fertilizer and get you those garden crops that you really, really want, you really need in order to tame the bigger and better stuff in this Primitive Plus world. So pretty exciting stuff here. The other way you can get yourself fertilizer, you'll see on my map where I'm at. This is the flying entrance to the underworld. You need a bird. You need a bird with a lot of stamina because it's dangerous down there. And if you have to land in a bunch of different places, it could be the end of you. So I'll show you some of the dangers when we get down here. Now, you can't fly in all the entrances to the underworld. This is the only one in which you can actually stay on your bird. So make sure you're in the right entrance. Make sure you exit the right exit when you come out of the underworld. It's actually a really cool place to check out. It's not really like the underworld in some of the games. Not really that evil. Pretty nice down here. So this area I'm going to is just the beginning. There's a lot of Titan boas and other bad things that can really hurt your day, but there's a dung beetle down there, and that's what we want. If you're playing on the regular version, grab that thing with the claws of your bird and fly it back up to your base area, to a safer area. You need to follow it around, putting poop in its butt. It's not too bad though. Eventually, it'll actually tame up for you. And then all you have to do is put poop in its inventory and turn it on wander, and the thing will make oil and fertilizer for you. One thing I need to mention: make sure when you're doing your leveling on the Philomia, or excuse me, on the Dung Beetle, that you're only putting in weight. You want this thing to be able to hold a ton more than the 3 pieces of poop that this thing held for me. So push that weight, get yourself that fertilizer going and going and going. Should make it a lot easier for you. The other trick I'll give you is I like to put these things in cages. Put them in a cage, put them on wander, then they don't go anywhere for you. You have them available to you whenever you're ready for them. Hope this helps, guys. Please subscribe, please hit the like button, and leave those comments. I really appreciate it. Till next time, see ya!